Okay, we are live. So today we have a regular weekly sync up for Jenkins Google Summer of Code. Today is April 3rd. We have several mentors and org admins on the call, Matt, Supun, and Martin. So it's just 1 week left till we have student application deadline. So this deadline is on April 9th. By today, we've got dozens of applications and student pings about Google Summer of Code. So I'm really optimistic about this project. Maybe I should turn on the camera because otherwise you just get Jenkins logo token. Okay, so yeah, we got a number of applications, and yeah, we ask all mentors and org admins to keep monitoring Gitter charts and mailing lists for their project ideas so that you can answer questions timely. Usually at the last week of GSoC, especially at the last weekend, there is a lot of students who come to the project, submit their proposals. And we still want to provide some kind of feedback to them if possible. So yeah, obviously it's a bit late compared to other applications. But yeah, it's still doable. We sometimes get good applications just at the very end of the application period. So that's the update from me. Generally, everything is up and running. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can just discuss them. Okay, let's take a look at what we have in the agenda then. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we don't have specific topics for today. Maybe one topic I would like to add is about Google seasonal docs, because yeah, we haven't discussed it yet. We thought, but yeah, status, I believe I provided the status update, so everything is okay. Regarding action items, we have a bunch of action items in the bottom, well, mostly on me. So yeah, I'll just copy paste them. Okay, so yeah, we do a lot of action items, but yeah, some things get stalled. So yeah, just an update from the top. So YouTube recording KT with Martin and Evelina. So we didn't do that. We had a KT with Martin, but yeah, I think I won't get to it anytime soon because again, it depends on CDF. Like there will be a rework of YouTube ecosystem because it's not clear how we will be working with participants. 10 participants in parallel is not enough for many meetings, so likely we will be moving to another channel soon. Then document for mentors about sharing information to students is still to do, and the same in internal meeting schedule. Actually, Martin has already started scheduling that, so Martin, if you don't mind, I will just reassign it to you. It's fine?
Yes, fine.
Okay, thank you. So budgeting process, yeah, it's postponed. Again, due to CDF. So until CDF is established, it doesn't really make sense to do any kind of work on that. Yes, work for 2018. I think that yeah, once we have applications, we'll just create a list for 2019 and 2018. So it's to do and it's lonely. And I believe this will all our hanging action items. We have a lot of pending ones, but yeah, usually we just do it on the flight. Okay, I pasted it to the wrong column. Okay, Google Season of Docs. About, this is not a GSoC, but it's a related project, so maybe I'll just give a quick update here in this room. The applications has been open yesterday, and we have submitted an application draft. So there is a Gitter chat for synchronization of all activities related to Google Season of Docs. Here are some docs, and here is a draft of our application. So if you're interested, to just take a look at this document, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You need to enter much less information than in Google's summer of code. So we just applied. And this year, the part which wasn't known before, that actually the target is just 1 or 2 students. Yeah. So here. So this year they will be only 1 or 2 technical writers in GSoC. So we just applied for 2. But yeah, it limits the scale of the activity so that we actually already have a number of potentially interested mentors and or admins who can pull it off. In my case, I'm still listed as a kind of contractor admin, but yeah, I'll step down once we have something established there. So my plan is to just facilitate the thing and to get it running. I don't really plan to work on that. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're interested to know what are the current project ideas, there is another Google Doc where we accumulate all the stuff. Once we have more project ideas in place, we'll likely move to the format similar to Google Summer of Code this year. But yeah, now we just put descriptions right in the right in the document. And if you want to propose some projects, just propose a change here. It's publicly open for comments, so anybody can go to this document and propose something. For example, if you want to improve documentation for plugins, or if you want to improve solution pages for your area, or if you just want to improve developer documentation, all of that is possible for Google Seasonal Docs. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Similar to GSoC, can potential applicants suggest projects or make proposals in GSOD?
Yes, they can. So these initiatives are quite different. So Google's Summer of Code is only about code, and it's only for students. Google Season of Docs is for technical writers, but it includes professional technical writers or whatever students if they have a portfolio and if they are interested in this area. So yes, potentially a GSoC student can apply for GSoC, and potentially GSoC mentors can also be mentors in GSoC.
Well, I mean to ask, like, you know how in GSoC a student can make a proposal for a project of what they want to do, and not just a mentor making the proposal of the project, right?
Yeah.
Is there something similar here, or is it only projects proposed by mentors?
Well, it's yet to be seen because we haven't seen the final application site yet. So
okay.
This is the first year in GSoC, but the documentation says that these things are project ideas. So it
Okay.
means that you're interested technical writers, so they can do their own proposal potentially. And yeah, in any case, we have this documentation channel. So if anybody is interested, you can just go to this channel and make a proposal here. We have almost 3 weeks before the application deadline. So that, yeah, even if there is no relevant project idea, we can add one if there are interested mentors.
Okay, sounds good. I'm sure I could find probably like a zillion potential ideas for documentation.
Yeah, what if we had a zillion of potential mentors?
And
But
I guess that's the hard part. Once
yeah,
again,
that's the
start
hard part.
full-time mentoring.
Yeah, so GSoC doesn't seem to be a huge investment. It seems that time investment from GSoC mentors will be lower than for GSoC mentors. But it's not 100% clear so far. This is just the first year in the program. So I believe that, well, everything is in flux.
Okay, I'll keep my eye out then.
Yeah, right.
I got to get going though. Thanks for the info.
Okay, yeah, thanks for joining. Okay, if there is no more questions about Google seasonal docs, we can just proceed with GSoC Q&A. We have another Q&A session in 2 hours, but yeah, we can answer some questions now. Martin, Supun, anything else in your agenda?
No, I don't have anything specific here. I think we've started to receive some proposals from students. We've had discussions on the mailing list in Gitter and on the proposals we've received so far. And I have nothing to add at this point. I'm just glad to see that we have interested students who have worked really hard to prepare proposals, and I thank the students for doing that and for preparing ahead of time. That's really good. It helps us quite a bit. So one thing though that I want to mention is for students and mentors who might be listening or watching this at later time on YouTube. We want to make sure before the students apply to the program, we want to make sure that students are eligible and they meet the eligibility criteria. And the one thing that Google is not verifying for us is for foreign students studying in the United States, there is some special letter that needs to be obtained by those students. It's called the Cpt Letter, Curricular Practical Training. They need to obtain this from their supervisor at their university. And if they do not obtain this letter, they cannot participate in GSoC. And if they do, they risk losing their visa. So we want to make sure that students are eligible, especially under that condition for foreign students in the US. The thing is, students have to make sure they can get this letter before the April 9 application deadline, because at that point they are in the system and they could be selected, and if they are found to be ineligible later, it's a loss for the organization and the student, and it cannot be recovered. The allocated slot from Google cannot be recovered if it's lost in this way.
So just to clarify, yeah, we will be selecting project applications in April. So yeah, by the time the project slots are fully selected, and by the time they are announced, there is still a way to reverse the decision. But the problem that we cannot really communicate with students during the selection phase. Well, we can do some clarification queries, but that's it. So please don't expect long negotiations or whatever during the selection phase. Org admins and mentors would be mostly in the radio silence mode for 1 month. But yeah, be sure we will be working on the proposals. But yeah, if any issues appear after the project announcements, as Martin said, there is no way to revert them. If the student is ineligible or if something else happens, yeah, the slot is just lost for the organization and also for GSoC, because yeah, even if we are unable to take another student for this slot, maybe other organization would have been able to run a project.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification, Oleg.
Yeah.
So I would continue to I want to make sure that all students who want to submit a proposal, they do so as soon as possible. And I believe, please do not wait until the last minute. And if you have a proposal and it's not final, I think the Google website lets you keep uploading updates to your proposal until the deadline. So you can keep on publishing your, submitting your proposal. And I think, remember at the end, I think you have to submit a PDF so that it's kind of a static proposal from that point of view.
It is. So, yeah.
So maybe we can, sorry.
No, go for it, Martin. Sorry for interrupting.
I was just going to invite students who are on the call, they have questions, to just jump in and ask.
That's one.
Hi, I have a question. So I have seen some proposals. So basically, the program doesn't really start until May, and some of the proposals I've seen have, like, for their timelines, they include like even April, and so I was wondering, is that something we should do, or is that just like extra information that you guys don't care about, or like, I don't know. I think I've kind of taken the approach of like, oh, I, just fill out the required fields. But I've seen, yeah, some people could do more than that. And then it makes me wonder, like, do they get extra points for that? Or is it not really even taken into consideration? So I was wondering if you guys could give some feedback on that.
Yeah, so quick answer, no, there will be no extra points for that. But yeah, so if you're interested to contribute to Jenkins in April, if you're interested to study Jenkins, etc., you are more than welcome to do that. As a part of GSoC or not as a part of GSoC, it doesn't really matter. So no, we do not block any kind of contributions in April if potential students really want to do that, but we will be judging on matter of what information we get by April 9th. So if you edit your application draft after this time, well, it won't impact our selection process, and the same if you do contributions. It also won't impact the decision. We will be judging on the state of April 9th. So yeah, if you're interested, you're welcome to do that. No, it's not required. No, it's not expected.
So if I may, the calendar states that the community bonding period starts on May 6th. Now, if students book in their proposal, if they say that they are going to work on the JSoC in April, we cannot consider that in when we review the proposal.
Well, all applications I've seen, it was rather about exploration. So studying Jenkins or whatever in April. Yeah, if you plan to do coding for your proposal in April, it's probably not the best idea. Because yeah, there may be other students working on the same area. Well, we cannot say no. If you want to contribute, if you want to produce code, you can definitely do that. But yeah, I would advise against that. If you just want to study Jenkins, it's generally your choice. If you're interested, feel free to do that.
Does that answer your question, Natasha?
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if we speak about work in April, maybe we should also talk a bit about work in May, because yeah, you may see that community bonding period is pretty long, so it's 3 weeks. And yeah, what we would expect in our organization that once you get the acceptance notice, we don't expect you to drop everything with your study, etc., and start working on GSoC immediately. It's not expected. We want to have a smooth transition, but we're ready that starting from the second week of community bonding, there will be regular meetings scheduled with mentors. Maybe there will be some introductory letters and other things to be done. So yeah, we expect some events to happen during the community bonding, and also we will be organizing on-demand trainings and other things which we haven't touched. For example, we wanted to have a session with former GSoC students during the application period. Obviously, it didn't happen because yeah, we were just snowed under other stuff. But yeah, we will definitely have something like that in the community bonding period. So yeah, please expect that there will be some events there, and you will be also expected to work with mentors in order to do some reality mapping of your project idea, and so that when the coding period starts, you can really start coding. So that, yeah, for example, some adjusting designs, creating Jira tickets, ordering them, etc. We expect a bunch of that to happen during the community bonding. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, if there is no questions, yeah, we can just close down the call, and yeah, we have another Q&A session in 90 minutes. So if you have anything to ask, if you want to discuss any project proposal, etc., we can do it during the next session.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Oleg. Can I discuss project ideas right now, or like I should wait for the next session?
Oh, yeah, actually, you can.
Okay,
That's
I'll
what
ask.
I was asking about.
Okay, I'll ask one question. As discussed yesterday, like Klaus said that something about the build pipeline. I'm talking about the artifact promotion plugin.
Mm-hmm.
He said something about the build pipeline view, right? Yesterday, and I found that there's something called a manual trigger in the build view. So if I introduce a new plugin, artifact promotion plugin, should I eliminate that particular function of the build pipeline view? That there's an existing manual trigger promotion condition in the build pipeline view, right?
Yeah, both ways should be doable. So yeah, our expectation is that you have the buttons available in classic pipelines. Whether you have it in other plugins like Pipeline View or Blue Ocean, it's something for you to decide and to propose as a part of your application. So if you want to extend Blue Ocean and to offer special integrations there, you can do that. If you want to update Pipeline View plugin, Pipeline Stage View plugin, then yeah, you also can do that. So it's just your choice. If you're interested, you can explore how to do that. Spoiler alert for Blue Ocean, it's not trivial right now. But yeah, if you really want to do that, it might be possible.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, that is my only question, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'm done with the questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
What about you, Nisark?
Yeah, okay. So, like, I also only one question.
Mhm.
I don't have any, specific doubt, but I was, just uh, confused for the implementation for discarding bills from the multi-branch pipeline. Like, the points of implementation which I mentioned that would run, but I was just looking for any other method which could delete the bills in an of, better way. uh, uh, and like I want to ask one thing that the current delete method which is used in the log rotator, uh, like it could work for discarding the builds from the multi-branch pipeline. So like um, in previous few meetings we had discussed that a new delete method would be useful for that, but actually that new delete method is useful for the external workspace manager, as the information of the root directory would be different there. So I think like here one point was mentioned in my proposal that new delete method would be implemented which will fetch the root of workspaces of pipeline of multi-branch. So like uh, I think that the existing delete method would only work. So I want your views regarding that.
Okay. Martin, what do you think?
Oh boy. So I don't. This is it's a technical question, and I'm not familiar with that code.
Mhm.
It's fairly advanced. It like I cannot offer any advice here. I would have to go into the code and study it myself.
Yeah, so what could we do? Yeah, we can spend some time now on the screen share. So let me Sark shows a bit, some bits of this code, and we try to find answers together. Or we can just take it offline, maybe in the mailing list. Like, yeah, it would be preferable, I would say, because I also don't have an immediate answer.
Right. I agree with that. We should take it offline. And to me, I need like a subject matter expert to dive into this.
Mhm.
So let's take it offline.
Okay, okay. So like I'll just comment that point, in that specific point, and like I'll just mention both the ways possible. Like we can use like the method which is implemented right now, and also we can propose a new method which could delete the builds from the external workspace manager by fetching the builds, by fetching the builds from the or specifically the workflow branch from the abstract workflow branch project factory.
Mhm.
Okay.
So like uh,
Yeah, it's fine to put it in your proposal.
yeah, okay. So like I'll just mention both the points.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to discuss it in detail, yeah, mailing list would be better. because it's hard to follow in the discussion, especially when there is no screen share, etc. So yeah, if we want to discuss details, so let's just discuss them in the proposal directly.
Yeah, okay.
Actually,
So, yeah.
the mailing list is a very good idea. If you can put your questions in writing, you can send them to the mailing list, and then we can ping specific developers of that plugin so they can chime in and provide some more advice. Because right now, Oleg and I do not have this knowledge.
Okay, so like I'll just start a new thread and I'll just put the proposal link and just write this question. And yeah, also like if you have any a better idea or a better way to use any method in the multi-branch pipeline, for the efficient integration, so like your feedback would be much more valuable.
Yeah. So one of the ways is to actually raise a question in the developer mailing list, and then we can ask, for example, Stephen Connolly or who else? Maybe Robert Sandel, JC Glick, who will be working on this area. We could just ask them to provide some feedback if they're available.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So like. Alexa, are you asking me to post my query into the developer mailing list or in the GSoC public group mailing list?
Developer mailing list might be better for such kind of deep questions.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll just post my query there. Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so do we have any other questions? So we have Jason on the call who joined recently. So Jason, if you want to ask anything, just go forward. We definitely hear you, but yeah, if you want to ask something, just do that. It doesn't quite work.
Oh, maybe he's going to try to log in again.
Okay, do you have any other questions to discuss for now?
Okay, Alexa, one question by the time he joins.
Yeah.
For the artifact promotion projects, we were discussing some sort of like a dedicated session for that. We did not meet up at the right. I mean, we did not come up with an exact date. So can we do it in this week, later this week, if you're free?
If I recall correctly, we agreed one of the options was to have it after the daily meeting.
Yes, sir. But the thing is, class sir will not be available today, so that is the reason.
Okay.
I'll just make another doodle invitation and I'll try to invite him on Friday because he said he'll not be free for Wednesday and Thursday. So can I invite him on Friday? And if he agrees, we can do that on Friday. If you're free with that.
Yeah, I'll try to join.
Okay. Friday or Saturday, like as per the...
Yeah, so just find time slots when Klaus can join. Okay. And yeah, if I'm available during this time slot, I will also join.
Okay. On Friday at this particular time, will you be free?
Let me check. Yeah, for me, it's just difficult to guarantee for sure these weeks. But right now, I have nothing scheduled at this time.
Okay, okay. I'll try to come up with a date.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, so sometimes it might be challenging to get mentors on the call because everybody is busy, everybody is working in parallel. For community bonding and for coding phases, we will be setting regular meetings between students and mentors to circumvent that. But right now we mostly rely on offline communications. So mailing lists, chats, etc. So if you have any specific questions to Klaus, maybe you can just ask them in the chat. And even if he's available on Friday, then that's perfect. We will discuss these questions in details. If not, you might get some response while everything is being scheduled.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. So if there is no questions left, we will just close this meeting and we see you in 18
Hello.
minutes.
Hello. Hello.
Hello? Yeah, now
Yeah,
we hear
sorry.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry for I have connection issues just now. And actually, I just want to ask if, so I'm working for the plugins that require some bit of end code, and will it be useful if I include some sketches in the proposal? What do you think?
Sketches are always
Yeah,
helpful.
is it, sorry?
Sketches are always helpful, especially if your proposal involves changing web UI.
So I just include like screenshots or sketches in the proposal. Is that what
Yeah, right.
what you mean?
Yeah, right. So any visual information may help because, for example, you can take existing screenshot and mark what you want to change there, or you can take whatever prototyping things like InVision app or whatever, and just create a draft of new UI there. So as you wish. Such thing can be a part of your application, and for UI projects, it's really helpful.
All right, cool. What if I include some external resources? So like if I push it to external links and I include it in the proposal, will that be accepted as well, or do I need to like directly embed it in the proposal itself?
No, there is no strict need to directly embed it in the proposal.
Sorry?
You can refer external resources. Just make sure that they stay available during the application period at least, and that there is no major changes during the application review. Well, preferably
Right.
to avoid any changes. But you can. You're welcome to refer any kinds of external resources if you feel it's reasonable.
Okay, sure.
Actually, Oleg, I think the final proposal by the students is PDF and should be static with. It can have external links, but everything the student proposes has to be kind of embedded in the final PDF. But it can have links. It can have links to reference material. But if you prepare a picture or some diagram or sketch, I would embed it in the final PDF. And I think you can upload the final PDF until the deadline.
I see. So it's better to embed it in the PDF itself, right?
Yes, that's what I think.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. So the links would be some links like external repository, I guess, like only for that purpose. But for like pictures or graph, or I need to like embed it inside the PDF itself. Am I right?
Yeah, if you draw if you draw a specific picture, specific diagram,
Yes.
I would embed it.
Okay. Cool.
I don't have a strong opinion on my own, but well, if it doesn't take much time to embed that, why not?
Yeah. Sure.
If,
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, you can continue. Jason, you can continue.
Okay, if there's no other questions, we can adjourn the meeting.
Oh, I have one small question. Sorry, can hear me? I have one small question about that. I have a pull request that about the mailing list. Is this okay? I mean, we put like that, or what do you think?
just a second, I will screen share.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean
the Jenkins infra, yeah.
so there were some leftovers, but just let's take a look what is the current state.
Jason, can you mute your?
Okay, so okay, so you generally move these instructions from the student guide to the main page.
I mean, I don't move. I just copy over. So. Actually, I think it's too late for this year, but maybe we can.
Yeah, for me, it's not clear why we need to just copy this information.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
Martin, what do you think? So I believe it was me who asked to actually. Yeah, so the idea was to clarify which communication channels to use, right?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we could cut this part because yeah, if it's a copy paste, yeah, probably it's not needed. But we can keep this part and merge it.
Are you copying the information from one page to the other, Bhutan?
Yes, I copy it from one page to another because, I mean, although this information already there, but I feel that all the students just use it. They don't use mailing list. I mean, yeah. So it's a bit like very difficult to check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's what I feel.
Okay, so what we could do that, for example, here we could explicitly set that this is a recommended channel.
I mean yeah.
Something. Sorry, I'm on another keyboard. Okay, and for example, we have set this also channel.
Right. So the reason you're copying this to the front page, put one, is because it's because you think it's going to be hard for students to find this on their own page, on the student page?
Yeah, I feel that. nobody is following that in the student page. I mean, yeah, I mean, this happened like from 2 weeks ago when I submit the pull request. So actually, we don't have any like mailing list here. I mean, we don't see much mailing list activity happen this year for GSoC.
That's you're right, because we promoted the Gitter channel quite a bit.
Oh, okay. But do you feel that Gitter is? I mean, if everyone using the same channel, do you feel it's difficult to check?
Yes, I prefer the mailing list.
Yes. So that's the reason why I.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we reward it in something like that, so yeah, we use project proposal discussion for discussions. This is a recommended channel for communication. So the results GSoC Gitter channel for real-time communications, but it is better to use mailing list to request technical feedback or to have long discussions.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just a minute. The sentence which says this is a recommended channel for communications. If you want, if we should say that this is the primary channel or the recommended channel for. Yeah, this is more specific. It means it's this one, and the other ones are secondary or optional.
Okay, I will send you a link about to the article about articles, because yeah, unfortunately in my native English there is really no articles, so yeah, then I don't see a difference between a and they in some context.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand what you mean here, but yeah, it's not something like native for me. Okay.
No problem.
So I propose the change then.
Okay, sure. I just propose a change there and we will update my pull request.
Yeah, I believe we agreed to cut this part, right?
Okay, we cut this part. We don't copy paste this part anymore. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's already there in the student page. Okay, I can remove that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if it's a bit late, well, we will still have 4 months of GSoC, 5 months of GSoC. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir. So I have one question. After the student application deadline, like after 9, is there any specific thing that Jenkins want students to do, or like having a look on like means any specific thing or like that, or do it's like any specific task which students should do after submitting the proposal, or like anything like that?
No, we don't have specific tasks we want you to do after submitting the proposals. There was a question from Natasha in the beginning of the meeting. But yeah, generally, once the application review process starts, we do not expect students to do anything except being patient and waiting for the project announcements. We won't really communicate with students. We won't really have weekly meetings in public, because we can't share anything in public before the projects are announced. So you will be just waiting.
Yeah. Okay. So like from 9th to 6th May, there will be like no meeting, with students or like that. Okay. So like after 6th, only with the selected students you can.
Yeah, right. So you're welcome to join regular meetings if you're interested, like special interest group meetings. So we will still keep running them, but yeah, we won't be discussing project proposals and the review status there just because we cannot.
Okay.
So yeah, there will be activities in the Jenkins project, but yeah, from the application standpoint, we won't be able to say much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. Okay, so we are almost out of time. Anything else to discuss today?
I would invite Lee Wulong to ask questions. He just joined, so if you have questions, please ask.
Sorry, I just want to hear what you're talking about. So I have no question.
Okay, we're just answering questions from student at this point.
Okay, so I may have some specific question for Oleg and Vuton. So I'm going to revise the proposal, and I'm gonna move everything that is related to Kubernetes to the first phase, and every optional feature to the second phase. What do you think about that?
Makes sense.
What do you think, Oleg? Is it too much for the first way we do the whole Kubernetes thing?
Well, it's better to start from things which matter, so that yeah, even if they take longer than expected, they get delivered. Because yeah, if you postpone the kernel things of your proposals till the second coding phase or till the third coding phase, there is a high probability that something doesn't go as expected. So yeah, so my general advice is to start from more important things, even if they're more complex. So it's still fine to have some preliminary research, but yeah, then if your proposal is mostly about Kubernetes, it makes sense to have it in the priority list.
Okay, so one thing is there's a feature that we can auto provision Kafka from binary files. I mean, from my point of view, I think this feature is quite important with the current plugin. So, I mean, do you think we can do this in the first phase, or we want to move it to the second phase? Any idea?
I think the proposal is Kubernetes is like integrating with Kubernetes feature. So
Okay.
I think I should focus on the Kubernetes part first. And
Okay.
although this is very useful, I can move it to the first part of the second phase.
Okay, can. Yeah,
I will
think
do
should
it.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think should be okay for me. You have any opinion, Oleg?
Fine with me.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other concerns, like about the proposal?
Do I need to include an implementation detail or architecture detail? Like, is it necessary to include it?
I don't think it would be a requirement to include this, but if you have any idea, maybe just include that. It would be nice to have that. I mean, it's not required actually, but it would be nice if you can draw something there. I mean, yeah, it's up to you actually. Yeah.
I fully agree with Wutan. So if you have any ideas or if you have done research for whatever areas of your projects, just put it in the proposal or maybe even in the appendix so that it's below your main proposal part. But yeah, any such information will be helpful because once we start community bonding, we will be actually talking about architecture and about first steps. So if you are prepared to that, it will help everybody.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay, so thank you for answering my question. I have no more question now. I'm going to review. I'm going to rewrite the proposal now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for today. So thanks everybody for participating, and yeah, see you in 1 hour, I guess, or maybe not. I believe that.
Oh, do we have this meeting next week? We still have, right?
Yeah, we still have another meeting in 1 hour.
No, next week. I mean, this meeting next week. Do we have?
Yes, we will have this meeting. We won't be doing Q&A. We will probably have a short meeting in public and then move to private chat. But yeah, it's something which what we need to decide.
Okay.
If we need Q&A sessions next week, I am available to organize additional meetings on Monday or Tuesday, but we will do it only on demand. If there are many students who need a video meeting, then we can do that. Otherwise, we will just discuss proposals in the chats and in the mailing list.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I'll stop the broadcast.